All right, Brian from Garage Mahal. Today we are looking at a Honda Accord. Not sure what the year is, but we'll have to look it up. But basically, a customer came in and they were complaining that their tires were wearing on the inside. So you can see how that's your outside, that's your inside. See how it's worn down. And on top of that, their passenger side is even worse. So a couple things are doing that. A couple things to look for is one, caster and camber. So if you look at this, we're just off a little bit. It should probably be about there. So you're probably about a quarter of an inch roughly off. And then we're going to look at the other side. And basically kind of like the same thing. It's just off just about a quarter inch or so. But believe it or not, that's going to be enough to throw off that completely. So why does that happen? A couple of reasons. One, your shock. See how your shock comes down? Your strut. Well, if that gets bent, getting hit enough times, it can come out this way. So if it comes out that way, you're going to be riding on that inside part of your tire. So that needs to probably be replaced. Other thing is your ball joints, upper, and you got a lower one up there. And when they start to go, they also can have a tendency to kind of like lean out, lean in, you know, whatever. So those are some recommendations. Control arms, they can get bent with hit enough potholes. They don't appear to be bent, but it doesn't mean that they're not. And you really don't have the caster or camber adjustment screws on these lower control arms or even on the shock. So it's basically when you put this stuff in, it's going to ride pretty much straight up and down. Ball joints, the boots are intact, which is suspicious because if they're intact, it usually means they're okay, but it doesn't mean they can't fail. But that's just another possibility. So anyway, on this, with that kind of tire wear, I'd say it's probably the shock strut and probably the control arms probably need to be replaced. And then same thing on this side, though not as bad, but same thing, shock and strut. Also, they probably never rotated the tires, which is probably, a factor that needs to be considered. That's just got to be kind of looked at. But anyhow, those are things to look at when you have inside tire wear, shock, and then your lower ball joint, upper ball joints can cause that whole thing to kind of pivot in. Usually it's the upper ball joint that starts going, that pulls that whole piece in. But anyway, that's it. That gives you a quick overview of why you have inside tire wear. Brian from Garage Mahal. Thanks for watching, subscribing. Be safe out there. All right. So this is what I found. This is your driver's side, and basically this is going to test your camber, caster and camber. So see how it's not quite in the center. So it's off a little bit. It's off by probably about quarter of an inch roughly. So why I was looking at that was because your driver's side tire is doing the same thing. It's wearing on the inside. Okay, so number of reasons why that's happening on this side, actually both sides, but that's your upper ball joint. It's probably going bad. But more importantly, see your shock. It's probably hard to kind of see from the video, but it's got almost looks like it has kind of like a bend in it. So if that gets enough hits and shocks from potholes in good old Pennsylvania, that's going to kind of twist it out a little bit more. So you're going to have a lot more play, and that's going to cause it not to be as straight as it should. I don't see anything bent on the control arms. This ball joint looks like it's pretty much intact. The upper one, you can kind of see some wear here, so that should be definitely replaced. And then suspect on this side, same thing. Put that on there. You can see how that's almost touching the line on the outside. So that one is probably, that's a good 1/4 inch or more. See how it is from down here and the gap that you have. So that is your ball joints going bad, upper and lower. And again, this one, they don't look bad on the lower, but top ones definitely need to be replaced. And while we're at it, probably replace that. And then this is your sway bar linkage. That one's broken, so that's going to cause some issues as well. But then you're looking at the shock on this side, and same thing. It's kind of hard to see, but it kind of bends in a little bit. So I would suspect that that whole strut shock needs to be replaced as well. So that's what you're looking at. And like I said, the tire wear is pretty significant. Looking at the brakes, brake pads look okay on the front, both sides. Well, let me get a better angle on that. So both sides look like they're pretty good. You got beefy pads there. Same thing on the front. If you look in there, kind of hard to see from the angle, but the pads look good. The only thing I see is, it doesn't look like they lubed the slides. And I mean, these feel loose, which is a good sign. You got some play on it, but the slides probably weren't done. Coming to the back brakes. I had the wheel off, but I'll take it off again. But let's take a look at that real quick. Alright, so you probably could use new pads on the back. And rotors, this is something called, it's kind of hard to see, but lipping. And if you rub your nail on that, that's definitely lipping on the back. So your rotor is worn. But more importantly, this side, see all this rust? That pad has basically rusted to that track, that slide. So this brake pad's actually not even working, just from looking at it. See how much rust is on that rotor? It's not even working. So either that caliper is seized or it's rusted completely to the slide. So that needs some TLC. But again, pad wise on the back, looking at this, yeah, they should both be replaced on the back. Plus, I got to get in here and take a look at this this whole brake mechanism. And your tires are pretty bald in the back too, so you need 4 new tires. All right, so back to this. So that's my recommendation. It's going to be lower and upper control arms. You're going to need a new strut and shock. Sway bar linkage. May as well do both sides. I think they come as a kit anyway. This side's not bad, but again, you got wear coming. So you know, you should probably replace definitely the upper and lower control arm on this side, as well as the strut and shock. I know it's not what you guys probably want to hear, but yeah, that's what it's going to need. And also, you probably need a really good tire rotation, because looking at these, it doesn't look like they've been rotated in a while. Every oil change, you should rotate your tires. That goes without saying. Anyway, hopefully that helps. And like I said, it's going to be it's going to be a big job. It's going to be a little bit bigger than we thought. And these front rotors, like I said, they look good. It's just going to be the back ones. Probably need pads pads and rotors in the back. All right, that's everything.